The 49th difficult issue. So we're still in the illness part. So we're talking about a different kind of illness. So the question is in this chapter. So sometimes the illness is belong to regular meridian. And sometimes its illness is caused by 5 other passenger evils. So how we can know it? So that's the question. So generally we're talking about some illness caused by itself, some illness caused by other reasons or other passenger evils. So that's the question here. Then we're talking about still on the book side. That book we're talking about still mainly on Huangdi Neijing, because before Nan Jing, that's mainly TTN book we have right now. Some of idea may be coming from other books, but truly we're losing other TTN books in that time. Right now, the older one is Huangdi Neijing. Then say in that book said, people grief and anxiety. It will be damage the heart. So that's kind of emotion there. And the cold and the chill. Like that cold and the chill coming from people eating and maybe drinking. Cold may be coming from outside, like EPI immunity. So that's damage the lung. Hate something and angry. That will make a sea floating like upward or go to wrong directions. So that kind of sea, they moving upward mainly. It's not able to move downward. That's mainly damage the liver. So qi circulation should be like a circle. We say we have upward part, we have downward part. Now, like we make the qi all go upward. It's not able to downward. That's truly flaky. So that will damage the liver function. So that's some situations maybe cause the different organs problems. Then talking about improperty kind of drinking and eating, like drinking too much and eating too much, and also like sitting or go to some special air that's more damaged air. That's damage the sleep. Overworking damage the sleep. including like study too hard. That's what I always talking about to students. Don't push yourself too much. Don't overuse your speech functions. Yeah, eating function, drinking function, and overusing. That's damaged speech. And then go to some place more moisture, more humidity for long term. That will be damaged kidney. And they give us an example here. Like put someone to the water. What do you mean that word? What that means? Like someone standing beside the river. They don't try to swim in there, but someone pushing, they go into the water. So that's not only cause damage there and cause people fear. So that's truly damage the kidney function. So these old examples here, the situation if it happens, that belong to regular meridian, like getting some say by itself. So right now we still go to pretty similar idea. We're talking about kidney is the water. Water nourishes the kidney, but too much water, too humidity for long term, still damage the kidney. The spleen control the digestive function. But if some people like not eating well, not drinking well, too much, they still damage the spleen function. And also spleen functions like thinking and study. And certainly, if they're using too much, still damage the spleen function. And the last page here, the liver make a shu and xie function, make the T moving. But by the big emotions, like angry and hitting kind of emotion, they're blocking T flowing way. T couldn't flow in upward and downward. That will be damaged liver function. So cool body and chill drink here. That's mainly we're talking about EPI conditions. Some cold from outside directly relationship with lung functions. So that's like EPI invading situation that's damaged lung. And hard holding big spirit. Certainly spirit relationship with any kind of emotion. So especially people feel grief and anxiety. I think anxiety is more relationship with the heart. Grief, sometimes we may thinking about maybe let me go to the spring and maybe kidney, but still belong to big emotion there and big shen there. So that's basically from different aspects, they affected different organs. So that's the answer the question. What means my reading getting sick by itself? So that's the first question. Answer here. So regular my reading getting sick by itself. That's basically we have 5 aspects. Directly relationship means each of the tongue organs. Then talking about what means 5 evils. The 5 evils is the wind, is the heat, and also like we're talking about not eating well, not drinking properly or drinking well, and maybe people make too tired, study too hard, and make too tired. And also it's the cold. And also another one is more damage. Humidity. So that together is 5 passenger evils. So wind, heat, drinking and eating too much, and cold, and humidity. You can think about the damage. So that together is 5 evils. And certainly these 5 evils directly connected with 5 organs. With the wind directly connected with the liver, and the heat directly relationship with the heart. Not eating well, not drinking well, and over study, overthinking, relationship with brain function, and cold evil, directly relationship with love, like passing the external cold, and humidity, like more water there. So we're talking about Ching is the water, but they will also damage by the water. So that's 5 evils. Then we're talking about illness happens in different organs. So still take heart as an example. When illness happens, how we know is damaged by the wind. So usually wind invading the liver, but now some condition is possible damage by the wind. But how we can identify, like what kind of passenger cause the organ problem? So then we're talking about the illness of the heart. Yeah, we still continue last page here. Illness of the heart, their face should be right. So we have 5 different kind of colors. But remember last week, we talking about the liver control the color. the big color here. But each of the organs, yeah, separate organs, they have separate color. So liver's color is the green. Heart color should be red. Brain color should be yellow. Lung color should be white. And the kidney color should be black. So that each of the organs, they have their own color, but bigger control, liver control the color. Just like a heart controlled all 5 senses, liver control 5 different kind of colors. So that's when we talking about heart get illness, the face should be red color. That's heart itself. So we know that red color should be the heart color. And but in the conditions, if like liver sending the problem to the heart, besides it, patient also have the symptoms like hard body. Hard body still can be hard itself, but feeling and painful below the rib. So that's basically hypochondria. And the pulse go to more superficial, stronger, and very truly very powerful belong to the liver. So that's we say something special. Not only heart get problems there, and also some liver issue in there, like a hypochondria pain and feelings and the pulse is very. Then go to another question here. So we say, still talking about heart issue here. We still continue like, for example, heart issue. What kind of condition the heart issue caused by passenger evil heat? So these kind of conditions, the patient will don't like scorching kind of smell, like we're burning something and over burning. So that kind of smell, patient don't like. That kind of smell go to the heart. But the patient have heart issue. They couldn't handle that kind of smell. Then still explanation why. Then we still follow last week we talked about heart control the smell odors. And certainly that's big control, 5 different kind of smell. And the smell go to itself. It's like a burning, overburning something. Overburning. And go to the skin is aromatic. and go to the liver. It's kind of a pretty bad smell. Like some people have some damn kid in your bladder. Then when they go to pee, that kind of bad smell. And go to the kidney. Another pretty bad smell, like people get dysentery, and then they go to stool, that kind of smell. And go to the liver, go to the lung, go to the lung. It kind of smell like old fish, old fish, over time fish kind of smell. So let's go to each of the organs. And when they got sick or ill, they will don't like that kind of smell. So that's when they got illness, that's don't like. So that's the same ruler here. The heart getting sick or illness, they don't like overburning kind of smell. So each organ have their own smell, but big control by the heart. So that's the basically ruler here. So then we're talking about if the illness in the heart, let's still take the heart as an example. It's injured by the heat. The patient will don't like the overburning kind of smell. And also the body still hot. And feel uneasy, like kind of restless. It's not comfortable. And also they will have painful in the heartache. And the blood vessel, the pulse, will be on the superficial surface, superficial, stronger, and dispersing. What means dispersing? We're talking about heart, we're talking about emotionally is joy. Joy makes people don't like to do anything, like to relax too much. Affected the pulse area. They are not like a regular, we're talking about pulse. It is strong in there, but should be moving go to the one direction, like a come and go, pretty strong there. But when they too relaxing, that kind of hard pulse, like they are not truly focused on one direction. Like you feel the pulse there, but look like they go to other directions. That kind of pulse, we use the word dispersion. So that's the heart itself, illness pulse. So now we can compare, and now we can compare. Like before we talking about the heart issue, if they injured by the wind, the symptoms, they still have red face there, and they still kind of don't like that burning kind of smell. They still have hard body, but they also have hyperchondria. Yeah. Hyperchondria and rib area is situation. and their pulse mainly is varied. Still on the superficial, still strong, but varied. But heart issue is caused by heat. Heat is the passenger evil relationship with the heart itself. It will cause pain in front of the heart. Yeah, heart pain is not a hypochondria pain. So that's the difference here. And the pulse still on the superficial, still strong, but the feeling is disappear. So that's some difference here. So that's we can know the passenger evil is coming from the wind or coming from the heat. The clinical symptoms will be different. Then still continue. How we know that still heart issue, heart illness, we just use heart as an example. So how we know heart issue or heart illness caused by eating or drinking not properly, or maybe people study too much, thinking too much, and cause overusing their body. Then they talking about the patient. The patient should be performed like the bitter taste of the food. So that's the heart itself. Bitter taste. Then like we talked about before, spleen control 5 different kind of tasting of flavor. That's by the spleen control. The tasty go to the liver is the sour. Go to the heart is the bitter. So that's if patient have heart issue, they should like bitter taste. And the tasty go to the lung is astringent. That's the same meaning as astringent here. And the tasty go to the kidney. It's solid. And the tasty go to spleen itself. It's sweet. So that's we say spleen control 5 different kind of tasty. But each of the organ, they have their own taste. But the big control by the spleen. So we know like heart guide the issues, they still cause like prefer the tasty for bitter taste, like heart itself. But they may have some other symptoms. So hot body still the same, like heart illness itself. But at the same time, they may feel the body is heavy. And prefer to lay down there, prefer to sleep. Because we're talking about spleen like have TNT function. These TNT functions usually cause water retention or body fluid retention. That kind of body fluid retention can cause heavy feeling of the body. And the spleen losing functions make people more tired. When people more tired, people like to lay down, like to go to sleep. And also, spleen control the falling. Spleen disorder itself will cause limb weakness. So that's they couldn't contract his limb falling. So that's a lot of symptoms relationship with it. And then the pulse still at the superficial. That still belongs to hard pulse. Yeah, hard pulse will be on the superficial and stronger that still belong to heart itself. But relax it like little bit slow here. So that's basically we still talking about heart getting illness. But this illness is damaged or transformed by the sleep. Then the symptoms, they still keep some symptoms exactly the same, like a heart issue itself. Heart causes problem, mainly is the heat. And also they have some symptoms, relationship with the sleep. So that's they say the illness is caused by people like overeating, overdrinking, or overusing their physical and mental. So that's spleen related. Then we talking about how we know still the heart issue, heart illness caused by the cold. The cold here still means EPI, external cold. Then we say for heart issue, yeah, for heart issue. Still that's the heart issues problem. Big problem. Like people couldn't talking clearly. They talking something not truly make sense. And then we talking about the ruler about the sun. That's controlled by the lung. 5 different kind of sun. But each of them, by different organs, they will control different kind of sun. The liver is the yang. Sometimes in the street, we can see some crazy person just yell there. No people can clear to hear what they yell. But that's basic, that kind of patient will have liver problem. And go to the heart, that people speak something not make sense. That's the heart. 神地走。And go to the spring. People like to sing. There's a story about spring in ancient time. A parent carry a son go to a doctor and tell doctor, my son always sing, always sing, anytime, always sing. He so like to sing. Then the doctor made the diagnosis. That's spring disorder. Then directly treatment for the spring. Then the patient is recovered. Singing is good, but not always, not anywhere. So that's basically directly relationship with speech function. And go to the key. We say that's growing, like always. Look like they have some bubble inside the body. Then they will always growing there. So that's belong to King. So we say 5 different sounds go to 5 different sound organs. So that's we talking about 5 different sounds. Big control by the lung. Big control by the lung. But each of them, they have separate control. Then we still go back to the heart issue. The heart issue, if it transforms from the lung to the heart, they still have the same, like heart itself, some symptoms there. They're talking about something totally not make sense. So that's the heart itself. They still have the symptoms itself, heart body. But they have some different symptoms, like a fever, chills, like got common cold or EPI irritation. And a severe kind of case maybe cause cough. So that's truly lung symptoms. And then the pulse in the superficial still could be hard. Yes, still could be hard. But truly lung pulse still on the superficial. And strong could be happens in the heart and the lung, but not that moving smoothly. Wrong. So that kind of raw pulse relationship with the lung. So like a chi not moving smoothly, blocking by the cold. So that's we know the problems coming from the lung, then attacking to the heart. Then we say how we know like the illness caused by the damage. So that we're talking about one organ relationship with other 4 organs here. And the symptoms, what's the difference? So we say writing without ending. That's still the symptom of the heart itself. So when we say that, remember, Qing control 5 different kinds of body fluid. But each of the organs, they control one of the body fluid. Liver controls here. Heart controls that. Spleen controls the saliva. Lung control the discharging coming from the nose. Liver. And the kidney itself, kidney itself is the vital. So that's 5 different kinds of fluid. It is separate control by different organs, but a big control is the kidney. So then we know the passenger evil coming from the kidney go to the heart. So sweating without ending, still heart itself. And the whole hot body still heart itself symptoms, like any kind of pattern they have. But they also have other problems. Pain in the lower abdominal area. And also feet and the thin bone will be cold. So that's basically some cold setting. Kidney control. Usually we talk about lower back pain, but generally more lower part of the body. And that's if kidney have trouble, that will cause the cold and painful in lower part of the body. So that's the kidney side. Then the pulse will be different here. Other pattern, especially for heart issue, pulse will be superficial, but now it goes deeper. That's the key. And the soft pulse is some dampness inside. It's caused by what? Abdominal kind of water. Bigger pulse will relationship with the heart itself. So that's the passenger evil coming from kidney. Then the symptoms, they will have both heart symptoms and kidney symptoms. So that's conclusion here. That's the pattern of the 5 evils. So then we go back the questions from the very beginning. So question is here. So regular meridian getting sick or illness by itself. So that's generally we're talking about 5 different organs here. Yeah. Meridian relationship with organs. So heart causes the illness by heat. Spleen causes the illness by maybe eating too much or drinking too much or overusing the body. Thus, spring got illness. Long got illness by ETI evading cold. Ching got illness by the water or damming. Liver got illness, usually by wind. So that's some passenger evil here. Each of the zang organs, they will match in their passenger evil, easily cause their state. If they got the passenger evil directly connected with the zang organ itself, that we talking about it caused by itself. But if they are not caused by itself, by others, so we just use heart as an example here. It also possible caused by the spleen disorder. Also possible caused by lung. And also possible caused by kidney. And also caused by liver. So if they caused by other evils, relationship with other organs, other passenger evil, or other organs, that kind of condition, we say it damaged by other passenger evil. So each of the cause, they will have the symptoms combinations. Like a heart itself symptoms. Plus, they caused by wind, some liver symptoms. Caused by the spleen, they may have spleen symptoms there. Caused by lung, they will have lung symptoms there. Caused by the kidney, they will cause by kidney symptoms there. And the different cause relationship with their function, like eating, overworking, and the cold condition for the lung, and the damage condition for the kidney. So that's just give an example here for heart. Any of the other organs illness, pretty the same. Yeah, pretty the same. Wind cause liver issue, thus liver getting sick itself. But liver issue caused by heart, by spleen, by lung, by the kidney is attacking by other passenger evil. So that's basically this part help us to make a diagnosis, like get a clear diagnosis. What's the illness in there? Is the organ itself, or maybe some other organs including in it. So that's this chapter.